Welcome to the Brent Weinbach podcast. My name is Brent Weinbach, and I'm here with stand-up comedian Myq Kaplan.
Hey, Brent. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's my pleasure. You are back in New York, right now?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this over Zoom. But you were in Los Angeles recently because you were here promoting your new special, right?
I was.
I
came
didn't
out
even.
there.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
on.
Oh, no, please. You didn't even.
I didn't mean to even jump right into the whole special thing yet. I wanted to work my way up to that, but I don't know. That's what just came to mind right now, you know?
It was natural and organic. Absolutely. But because that's what I did recently. You know that I was in LA, and you don't want to hide the fact that I was there in part to promote the special, which is part of the reason that I'm talking to you now. The other main part of the reason being that I care about you and you're my friend and I
Hmm.
love talking to you. But that's why I'm talking to you now. I'll talk to you anytime.
Sure.
And also, for the same reason that I went to LA at this particular time and spent 11 days there. I did 11 podcasts while I was out there
Oh,
in person, and I did 11 live shows while I was out there.
no crap.
Yeah.
But not
And I was
all on
there.
the same day.
No, I was there for 11 days, 11 shows, 11 podcasts, but some days had none. Some days had more than one.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's a neat thing that you did these three different activities. Well, I mean, not three different activities, but there was three.
Three
Whatever.
11s
There were
were
two activities.
involved.
There were two
Yeah.
activities, but I don't know. It's just neat that there was 11, 11, 11.
Oh, yeah.
That seems really magical to me. I mean, that seems like that some kind of wish could have been made at one point, right? I
Yeah.
think.
I think you're right. And, it's the kind of thing that after the fact, I was talking to somebody the other day about it, and they were like, if you were Sam Morril, you would have made a documentary about that.
Wait,
And
does he care about that sort of thing? 11,
uh,
11,
I,
11?
no, I think it's just that he once made a documentary, and he's a comedian. So, no, I don't know if he cares about numerology or such things, or the number 11 specifically.
Or does
Or maybe, yeah.
he cares about fitting in a certain amount of something in a certain amount of time or something like that?
Yeah,
Because
I think,
Steve Byrne
yeah.
did that. He made a little Steve Byrne made kind of a documentary or something like that about him. This is a while back, doing 13 sets in one night, I think, or something like that, or
Hmm.
maybe more. I don't know. And he might have been trying to beat some kind of record or something. I don't know. But he timed it out where he was followed, and it's a short form documentary. I mean, it's maybe 20, 30 minutes or something like that.
All right.
And he does 13 sets or more or something like that in New York.
Yeah, you can do that more in New York. There's another guy, I think Aaron Berg, who made a similar documentary where I think he might have done 25 sets in
Oh,
a 24-hour period. I don't mean to
okay.
flex on Steve Byrne. I don't know what order they did it in. It's very impressive.
Steve
That's
Burns
more,
might
yeah.
have been from 2004 or something like that.
Oh yeah, this is more recent.
Yeah,
So,
or six
you
or
know,
something. Yeah.
everything getting bigger and fuller. But yeah, I didn't even know. It wasn't planned exactly. I was looking it up after the fact, and I was like, huh, that's cool.
It could be maybe the name of your next special or something, you know?
Absolutely.
11, I mean, I could see that. 11, 11, 11. And it's about this time you spent in Los Angeles that, where you did this stuff and maybe other things that happened. And maybe you come back, you retrace your steps, and then you kind of
Ah,
you connect with the people that you reconnect with the people you connected with, and then you maybe even follow up with people you didn't connect with that you maybe wanted to or something. I don't know.
yeah. Oh, I
I
love.
don't know.
I
I don't
really
know.
no. I really love that idea. I know sometimes people like if they took a photo in a place 20 years ago, 50 years ago, then they'll sometimes go back and be like on the anniversary of it. Let's
Oh yeah.
recreate that photo in that place. And there's no specific reason like why to or not to, but I think it could be really fun.
And
Maybe in
then
11 years.
yeah, that's wow, 11 years. And by the way, Gosh, we're recording this almost on 11/11. It's 11/12 right now. That
That
would have been
is,
really neat if we did record this yesterday.
yes. Well, for the people listening, I mean, it's basically here's a fun, Ryan Singer.
Of course.
Yeah, love Ryan Singer. There's a story about him that I remember that I think of fondly, and like earlier in my life, uh, like I thought differently about this story, but now I think the way that I do now. And the story was he told me that he was driving one time and there was like a coincidence that happened that he thought was kind of, magical. And he's kind of like a magical coincidence
Yeah,
guy,
sure.
like, which I love. I love that about him.
Hmm.
And the magical coincidence, he told me that he was like listening to a song on the radio. Oh no, he saw a bumper sticker first. He saw a bumper sticker that had a song lyric on it. And he's like, and then I heard that song on the radio
Hmm.
4 days later.
Oh,
And I was like,
four.
wow. I mean, and so initially I was like, oh, I mean, obviously for it to be the most magical seeming coincidence, it could have been like while you were looking at the bumper sticker.
Right.
But it was still front of mind. And now I just see that as like, wow, what a fun brain that Ryan has where he's able to, he's like, I don't need it to be exact. I'm like, 4 days is a
Right.
magical enough distinction. And so same here. Like we're only 1 day away from 11/11, and one is one half of 1/1, which is another. We need a third 11 in there, so we're almost there.
That's true, actually. Yeah, right. 1 1 equals 2.
Yes.
So, there's something there, although that does kind of make 5 ones in a way or something.
Yeah,
Or,
it kind of. We got an
but-
extra one.
well, you know what? Actually, yeah, it's too. You know what would have been really cool is if we recorded this podcast in 2011.
Oh, if it was 11/11 in the year 2011, absolutely, that would have been the best time.
That would have
for
been
it.
pretty neat, But by the way, I was going to say if the song was about the number 4 or something, then 4 days
Ooh.
later would have really worked. If it was
Oh,
somehow,
yeah.
or even if the song title just had the word 4, even if it's not the number 4, just the word FOR, at least that
Oh,
could
yeah.
maybe mean something. That
All 4-1. That song.
homophonically
Yeah.
that there was something magical. I don't know. No, look, it's still magical. I don't want to take away anything from
Yeah, no, it's magical, and maybe it is even more magical than I know because I don't remember what song it was. Why not? Until we know for sure, it's like
Right.
Schrodinger's song. It
Oh, yeah.
probably was a 4 related song.
And you know what? Even if it wasn't actually, because Ryan felt it to be a magical coincidence, it does make it magical to him, and therefore it's his unique magical experience that no one can take away from him. No one can even share with him in a way, and so that makes it even more special. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it work for him. I just want to make it work for him and you and everybody, actually.
It's absolutely working for me. Even I never even thought about this part of it before, but his name is Singer, and it was a song. So like any song.
I thought of that already. I thought it was already.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. Well, his name is Singer, obviously, but
Yeah.
and his name is Ryan too, which
Yeah. That's right.
which something about Ryan. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how Ryan relates to anything.
Sometimes when I talk to audience members when I'm doing comedy, if the person's name is Ryan, I will ask them if it's short for anything. Like, I like to ask people if their name is short for anything when it's usually pretty clear that it's not. But if they'll usually say no, and then I'll sometimes say it would be fun if your name is Ryan, if you said it was short for Brian, like that's
Yeah.
something it could be short for. And Brian sometimes, depending how you spell it, often gets misread or, typoed as brain. And we were talking about Ryan's brain. So that's something.
Wow,
with Ryan.
that's cool. I like that. I like that connection. Wow, that's neat. What if
Thank
somebody's
you.
name? What if a name Ryan was short for Ryand?
Oh, yeah.
That's just a new idea. This is I was thinking. I'm just kind of taking a new spin here. It's just that, Ryand, or even Ryant.
Ooh, Ryant seems like it even. This is such a funny thing about the English language, and maybe it's just me, but if you said to me, which one of these is more likely to be someone's name, for whatever reason, I think Ryant. as opposed to Ryand, even though they're neither of them are names that you know what I think it is? I think it's because of Bryant. Bryant is a
Yeah.
name.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. And then what about Ryan?
Ryan,
And
a feminized version.
something like that. And then we're kind of getting towards a real name, which is Rian
Oh,
or something like that. Or yeah, Rian or
yeah,
Rian or
Rihanna. Yeah,
Rihanna or something like
yeah.
that.
Who's
I
a
guess
singer?
right, who is a singer. And by the way, singer is short for something. For Ryan, I call him Ryan Singoretsu sometimes. Well,
Oh, I didn't know
a lot
that.
of times I'll say Singoretsu. That's how I mean, it's short for my nickname for him, kind of. Nicknames are
Yes.
usually kind of shorter, but in my case, for him, it's longer. And I say Singoretsu.
Every
I
once in
kind
a
of make it
while.
Japanese,
Yeah.
basically.
It
Singoretsu.
seems that way. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Singoretsu.
Sometimes names, like usually a nickname is shorter than a name, but here's some exceptions. Chuck and Charles. I guess Chuck is a little shorter than Charles, like it's fewer letters, but sometimes Charlie is short for Charles, but it's longer. It's more syllables.
Yeah. What we means more syllables. It's the
Same.
same syllables. Same syllables.
I, would you say that Charles is two syllables and not one syllable?
Charles. Yeah.
Ah,
Unless you're going
interesting.
Charles.
Yeah, you can make it one.
I guess you could make it one. You could stretch it to one.
Like Gnarls Barkley? Do you say
That
Gnarls?
sounded like two to me. I mean, you know what it was? It was a soft two. You're right. Okay, it's a soft two syllables. It's not a
Yeah.
hard two syllables. But
Oh yeah.
gnarls does feel like it does feel like two syllables, but
It takes longer. Yeah.
it is not an emphatic two syllables or something.
No, it's absolutely. I think the reason is my understanding is that the R and the L sound are both liquid. In linguistic terminology.
I hear that.
Uh, so Earl, like you can't like. Here's what do you think about the word fire? Do you think fire is one syllable or two syllables?
Definitely two. But I hear you. It's liquid.
Yeah.
It's liquid too.
Liquid 2, like the
Yeah.
T-1000 in Terminator
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, and T2, yeah.
Yeah, he was a
It's
liquid
L2.
2.
It's
Yeah,
L2.
L2.
Speaking of names though, what's up with your name though? I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked. I mean, I think I might. I don't know if where I've probably talked to you about it already and stuff. But Mike spells his name for those of you who are just I don't know somehow didn't look at the title of this and just press play blindly. You didn't want to know who was on or something, and I don't know. It just came on. Maybe you have it downloaded automatically, and then it came on your feed or whatever, and
Yeah.
you didn't read it, but
You're
and
driving. Be careful.
yeah, you don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
be careful. Yeah, don't. Be careful, and if you need to glance at a bumper sticker that says a song lyric, go ahead and do it. But
Yeah.
just be careful.
Yeah.
He spells his name Myq. Myq. And Kaplan is spelled Khiaeou.
Hold on, I got to write this down. Yeah.
Laiou. And I don't know. No, he just spells it like Kaplan Review. And which kind of is fitting for you, actually, because you're kind of a bit of a brainiac and I don't know.
A little, or a
Something.
Ryaniac for short. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You are kind of you kind of seem like an SAT type of guy, but maybe you didn't take you seem like an SAT prep kind of guy. I bet you tutored SAT prep, didn't you, or something at one point?
I auditioned. It's not called auditioning when you go to a job interview, but
I
that's
want it to
what's in
be.
my.
I'd like it to
Yeah.
I'd like that actually.
I
You auditioned to be
auditioned,
a Kaplan Review tutor.
but I did not. I did not get it. I thought I could have been it. I
Really?
think
You
I'd be
actually
good at
well, hold
it.
on a second.
Yeah.
You really did actually audition for Kaplan?
I now forget whether it was specifically Kaplan or a different related.
Man, that would have
But
been
yeah,
great. You could have said, "Hey, I don't even need to be." You could have said, "Hey, just first of all, before we even get into my qualifications, just look at my name."
yeah.
I mean, am I not
mean,
right for the job? Come on now.
maybe it was like the rise of the nepo baby, and they're like, we have to bend over backwards to not look like we're showing favoritism. Like
hmm
we know that you're not a related Kaplan, but people will talk. So.
hmm
Yeah, so I didn't get the job, but I think well, I certainly did well enough on the SATs. I think it's reasonable of
What did
you
you
to
get?
say. I took it a few times,
I did too.
and
I took it five
yeah.
times.
Oh wow, I
Yeah.
took it. I think I took it three times,
I took
and
it five. I was trying to beat my high score.
did it work?
I took one of those review. I don't remember which one it was. I did do a SAT prep or SAT something or other, and it did boost my score 150 points.
Wow. Well, I did something that boosted my score 220 points, but the thing that happened that made that possible was I forget what they called it. They like shifted the curve at a certain point. I think people were scoring lower than they wanted, so they
Oh,
recentered. They called it
oh,
recentering so that
oh.
the average became, they're like, we want the average to be whatever number, but people were not
So they
scoring that
made the
high.
questions easier.
I mean, I don't think they made the questions easier. I think they literally just made it that if you got the same number of questions right, you got a higher score.
Oh,
And
I
so
see. Yeah.
I think so the first two times I took it, I got a 1260, and the third time I took it, I got a 1480.
Wow, 1480. That's pretty good. My
It
highest score was 1270, I think.
all
Is that
right.
what it was? Yeah, yeah. 1120 was my one before that, and I bumped it up 150. Yeah, I think
Great.
it was 1270. That's not that great. I mean, whatever. I'm not a great test taker, but
But
especially
you have
test taking.
your brain is, I mean, look,
My
you
Brian.
could be your Brent Weinbach
Uh-huh.
is what it could be short for or long for, depending what we're talking about. I mean, I love that we're having this conversation. I also love that most of the time when I talk about the SATs as an adult is to talk about how little the SATs matter when you are an adult because memorizing things or like getting certain things right as far, I mean, it's good to have reading comprehension. That's a good skill to have, but ultimately in life, certainly as a comedian, as an artist, as a musician, as a person who discovers like what they love doing and what they are attracted to, and finding yourself and your path in life like does not specifically depend on the SATs or what grades you got or how well you did in college. So I mean, I'm glad I did well in school, and I'm happy that I learned a lot of the things that I learned, and I'm happy that I discovered comedy and the way that I do
Well, I'm
comedy.
sure. First of all, I think. And where did you go to Harvard?
I did not. I did. It's funny. I went to school in Boston, which is what
You
people
went to
say.
right. Okay, you went to Boston University.
I went to Boston
Emerson.
University, and no, I went
No,
Boston University for grad school, and before that, Brandeis
Brandeis. Wow. Okay, so that could
or
be the
Brain
name.
Dice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say the name Brian is in there somewhere. I
Oh,
think.
it absolutely
And
is.
did you? Oh, what did you go? Okay, we have to get back to Mike, by the way.
Yeah,
But
we'll get there. Yeah.
did you? What was your? What did you? What was your? What did you do for graduate school? Where were you
Oh, sure.
studying
So
there?
I'll lead us into it. In my undergraduate experience, I majored in philosophy and psychology,
Oh yeah.
and I minored in math and linguistics.
Mm.
And then for grad school, I got a master's degree in linguistics, exploding that minor much more
Hmm.
majorly.
I took a couple. Well, I took one linguistics course in college, and I learned the phonetic alphabet, and I was doing some transcribing and stuff, and with phonemes.
Cool.
And
What was your major?
well, I majored in film studies and I minored in music, but
Yeah.
and I didn't go to graduate school. Although I did try to go to film school, and I didn't get into any.
And
But
yet here you are working in the business of show.
that's true.
Uh, yeah.
I was gonna say that a lot of college doesn't. People say, "Oh, well, if you end up being a comedian, that you didn't really need to go to college or whatever." I mean, I disagree with that because, and maybe you do too, and I think particularly you and me, but everything I do, not just comedy, everything I do, everything I've learned plays into it somehow. And so my experience in college and all the things I learned in college, that definitely has some kind of influence, or it gets that gets used somehow.
Oh,
I think what I'm
absolutely.
saying is I think there was a practical application to the things I learned in school. And so I think it was good that I went to school, and I think it was good that you did too. And I think it probably does come out. I mean, certainly it comes out in your comedy too.
Oh yeah, I mean, at this point, something that when I think about sometimes people when they ask about, do you believe in, fate, determinism? Do you believe in free will? That we have choice. Sometimes I'll say, I do believe in fate for the past, and I believe in free will for the future, and I believe that neither the past nor the future are real. But the point is,
Mm.
I can't undo what I've done. In fact, here's a quick fun story about this. Do you know Chris Duffy, the comedian?
No, I
Uh,
know Duffy, the MTV VJ, the
Similar.
host on MTV. Duffy, I know who Duff is
Duff Beer?
From Axl Rose.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, not from Axl Rose, from the Guns N' Roses is what I meant.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Duff, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Axl Rose is
And then there's
connected.
there's
Yeah.
the beer. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, related to all of those, Chris Duffy, a wonderful comedian and friend of mine, I think he shared this story with me once. I forget who it's about, but some journalist who's like an acclaimed, successful journalist. He heard talking maybe on a podcast or something about how they went to a lot of journalism school, but they're like, actually, if I knew now, if I knew then what I knew now, I wouldn't have even gone to journalism school because I wouldn't have I've needed it. And Chris made the point. He was like, yeah, if you knew then what you knew now, what you know now includes everything you learned in
Yeah,
journalism school.
totally.
So that would
Yeah.
have been like going back in time and being like, I saved the game, but I have all the
Right.
stats and information. But
Exactly, yeah.
oh yeah, I mean, some of the ways that I think, like, some of the philosophy classes that I took, some of the psychology classes that I took, like even if I just remember like one specific explicit thing from it, I'm like, wow, if I didn't learn that in that place, that I mean, I would be a completely different person. Like who knows
Mhm.
what path I would have taken, in a sliding doors kind of way. So, but yeah, I'm grateful that your brain is what it is.
The point is that guys, it's not useless getting going to a high, getting an education. It's not pointless, guys. It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
you go into. Getting an education is going to help you in some kind of way, or it's going to play into your life in some way that is, that's useful. Yeah.
I think I
Um,
learned how to learn, in a way better. Like growing
well,
up, at high school and up to high school was a lot of it was just memorizing, like memorizing dates and, I could really like, be like I know about history. I know what happened in what year, but I don't know anything else about it other than the
what year
facts.
did the War of 1812 take place in?
I
What
didn't
year?
learn that
What
one.
year was
Yeah, I
that?
don't. Uh,
Is that an age-old kind of question? I mean, joke question is what year was the War of 1812?
it's a good one.
It
It's
is
a
a
good
good. It is
one.
a kind of a stumper of sorts. But did you? It'd be cool if it wasn't 1812. Actually, by the way, but
Yeah,
and maybe
did
it
it
wasn't. I
happen?
wonder if it
Was it
happened over the course of how many years and when it. Would be funny if it wasn't 1812. But it'd be cool if it was 1111 or something like that. But
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
But now, if you were well, okay. Did you learn? Did you go to school to learn how to? Is your name have anything to do with? Because that's not what you're. Is it okay to say that's not your original style of spelling, right? Or that's not your original.
100%. It's not a secret. I'll
But
tell you.
does it have anything to do at all with linguistics or something like that?
I think it does have something to do with it, but sometimes people ask me the question like, so some of your comedy is, involves the playing of playing with words. And also linguistics is all about the study of language. Like, did you take linguistics classes to get better at this kind of comedy, or did your comedy how did they interact? And I think they all stem from like the same, root or seed inside of me that I became interested in linguistics because of, my particular, the
Sure.
way my brain works. And I started doing the kind of comedy that I enjoy doing similarly because of what's inside me. And third branch, I'm sure that the reason I chose the spelling for my name also stemmed from that, but before I'd even ever heard of linguistics, because I didn't really ever know about linguistics until college when I took my first class when I was probably like 19 or something. But I changed the spelling of my name about 4 or 5 years earlier, and it was specifically inspired by Prince changing his name to a symbol,
Whoa,
which
really?
happened somewhere in 1993, 94. I was like 14 or
Okay, so
15.
you changed the okay. I thought the real answer was going to be, I don't know, maybe to make your name stand out a little bit in comedy. So it didn't
No,
just seem
yeah.
like Myq Kaplan, and that seems maybe kind of more generic or something like that. But then MYQ is, oh wow, people are going to say, oh, what's this? Who's this guy? Let's check that out. So this was in, I don't know, you were younger. You were in maybe high
I
school or
was.
junior high or something.
Yeah, I was in high school. It was at summer camp between, 2 years of high school.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think that is a classic. I mean, certainly the benefit of, greater search engine optimization capacity is a bonus that has come along. But it was really, I was just this weird little kid at this performing and creative arts summer camp with a bunch of other, kind-hearted misfits, all the kids who didn't really like fit in school. And so we came together and we're like, oh, look, we like,
We can all change
we're
our
not,
name.
yes,
Well, look at Prince. We all came together and we
exactly.
said, look at Prince.
I
Let's change. Let's do it.
100%.
Let's do that too.
I looked at Prince and I was like, he's doing a weird thing. I'll do a weird thing. That's absolutely what happened.
That's wow. And then what did you? You liked Prince, I guess.
I mean, truly, I do like Prince. I don't know at the age of 14 how I was familiar with like some of his hits, but I did not understand
You
like
just thought the whole
how.
name thing was cool, or not? It wasn't even a name, but just the idea that he was
Yes.
going by a symbol at one point. You thought that
Yeah.
was cool, and
That
you
was a
thought,
sticky news story to me. Yeah.
and then you said, I kind of want to. I don't want to go all the way there, but I want to do something. And then you
I'm not
said,
going full hieroglyphic. No,
and your
no.
name is
I'm
your
yeah.
full name is Michael, probably,
That's right.
but you don't have a long spelling of a new version of that the long
I
way.
mean, as a joke, I'll say that it's MYQL.
Okay, yeah. Um, Yeah, so then you go, and then you just thought, okay, I'm gonna spell, and this is you're in high school, and you said I'm just gonna spell it with a Q and a Y, and you started writing that on your papers and stuff.
I don't think I did it in school immediately. I
Hmm.
definitely did it like with my camp friends. I had like a name tag at camp and I would get it at that. It was kind of like,
Wow, I didn't know it went
yeah,
back this far. That's interesting. And then did
yeah.
you legally change it to that at a certain point, or no? Is it
I
just still
I did not. I'm an outlaw.
okay? So
It's
your
it, yeah.
checks and things or whatever. Well, I don't know. You probably have a corporation now, but your business name or like I don't know business documents and stuff. It's gonna say not say YQ.
I'll tell you this. I currently do not have a corporation, but I do get checks. Sometimes people write a check out, spell it Michael. Sometimes people write a check out, spell it MYQ. I've never had a problem cashing either of them. I will tell you where I did, not legally, but formally, I am Myq Kaplan spelled this way in SAG-AFTRA, in the union, which is in part because there's at least one, if not
Mm.
multiple other Michael Kaplans. In fact, I don't know if you've probably seen the name Michael Kaplan in movies, because when I was younger, I remember maybe I first saw it in Clue, and then I saw it in Fight Club and Star Trek, maybe some of the Star Wars movies. There was initially Michael B. Kaplan,
Oh yeah,
like Michael B. Jordan. I think
yeah,
it was Michael B. Kaplan, and
yeah.
eventually he was a costume designer.
That would
And
make you the Michael Jordan.
I am the
Or
Michael
you're the
Jordan
Michael Jordan
of Myq
of basketball.
Kaplan's.
Okay,
Yeah.
of like
Oh,
Of
yeah.
Kaplan's. Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah.
No, no,
No,
no.
of basketball. I'll take it. Of
Okay,
basketball.
basketball. Yeah.
I'm the Michael Kaplan of basketball. Wait. Uh, yeah. And so, but eventually, I stopped seeing Michael B. Kaplan and I just started seeing Michael Kaplan. So I don't know what happened to the original Michael Kaplan, because I assume it's not two guys who are costume designers, both with the same
Oh,
name. But
they were the costume designers.
yeah,
You.
at
Oh
least
wow.
one. Yeah.
You mean the one from Clue and then from Fight Club? That was the same
Exactly.
guy. Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, wow, costume designers. Yeah. Um. So, when you started going by with the Q and all that, how did your parents react?
I think they were generally accepting. They loved me, and I feel like they didn't necessarily like use it immediately or all the time, and I didn't like force it. It wasn't urgent. It was just a fun thing that I did mainly with my friends. Though earlier on, I would like I think I used to want people to believe that that was it. Though it's a strange thing because I truly do. I want everyone to know the truth now. I have nothing to hide. I'm not a magician.
Yeah.
Or
Did your
am
parents
I?
think though
Yeah.
this is something? Okay, he's going to do this for a year or two, and then he's going to go back to Myq Kaplan or whatever you were going to go back to. And then they said, and then now all these years later, they're saying, you know what? You really knew what you wanted back then.
I think that sounds fair. I don't know if we ever talked about it specifically, but I do think that both of my parents, at least, I feel like my mom is a quirky lady as well. Like here's a thing that she does when she has a boyfriend currently as we speak.
Oh yeah.
But when she's been, my parents divorced when I was a teenager, and over the years, my mom has, variously dated different people. But when she's single, she goes on, dating apps or dating websites. And something that she puts in her dating profile is that she's looking for a character with character. And so that's like a fun, she wants somebody who she knows that she is quirky, and she's like, I'm also looking for, a not a straight ahead, boring old regular potato.
Now, also speaking of names, your special that is coming out on November 19th, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And November 19th is a Wednesday. And in fact, well, actually, this podcast will come out it will come out. It means it came out 2 days ago, actually.
Oh, all
Okay.
right. Hey,
So,
cool.
and I mean, actually, for people on Patreon, it came out right today. So anyway,
Oh,
it's out, guys.
amazing.
It's guys,
Hey,
guys, it's out. It just came out.
check it.
Um, but speaking of names, though, it is titled the name of your significant other, Rini,
That's right.
Rini.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of I feel like it's kind of it's a big choice for the title of your special, right?
It's a bold move.
Yeah.
I'm a real.
What now? She co-wrote it,
She did.
and I mean, what's going on? I mean, everybody probably asked you about this already, but why? What? I mean, that's a big move to say. Yeah, the special is called Rini.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's the third name that we had for it. There's two other names that it is not named, for two different reasons. One, the first name, it was going to be called Imperfect.
It was going to be Mike. The first name was going to be Mike, Mike. The second name was going to be Myq.
Yeah,
And then you went with
get
Rini.
it. Then we thought about Brent, but no, it was going to be called Imperfect, but with a capital P, so it also kind of looked like I'm perfect. And so, like, toggling back and forth between imperfect and I'm perfect.
Oh yeah.
Because one of the themes in the show originally, and there's still some of this there, was like it was focused mainly on like my growth as, a human being, a comedian, a romantic partner, like giving advice to myself to improve. And eventually it became much more about my relationship with Rini, as Rini and I, collaborated on the creation of the show and on the continuation of our relationship. Our both romantic and creative collaboration continued and thrived. And then eventually that name sort of became less what it was about. And so we picked a new name, and the second name we chose was called Before We Get Started. And the reason that was going to be the name was because I say it a few times in the show, and also just thematically, Rini and I have been together almost a decade. We're not married. And, right now, I'll just brief interlude. The time on the clock on my computer here in New York City is 5:08. And Rini, I don't know if you can hear from the side.
I just heard an awe. Yeah.
That awe is because Rini's birthday is May 8th, or on the calendar, 5:08. So whenever it's 5:08 on the clock, we like to celebrate a miniature birthday. For me, it's 10:07. When's your birthday, Brent?
Well, I don't like to say my exact date,
Oh,
but it's
okay, fair enough.
it's in September.
Okay, so whenever the clock strikes 9 something, happy birthday to you. No need to reveal your secrets. But so before we get started, as it pertains to our relationship is, so, we've been, if you're together for any number of years in a romantic relationship and you're not married, at some point people start asking you, when will you get married? Are you going to get married? Why haven't you gotten married? As if the marriage is like the starting point of the relationship. Like once a couple's married, you're like, not even how long have you been together? People are just like, how long have you been married?
Right,
And what if
right.
you were together?
By the way,
Like,
I always ask that. I say, how long you been married, and also how long you been going out before that.
you're very thorough. That's
Well, because I mean,
I
I
yeah.
want to know what's the history here. I mean, because married doesn't, that doesn't mean much. I mean, it doesn't mean much, because it's, it could be a year they've been married, and that just counts a bunch of other
Absolutely.
time together. But anyway,
You have gleaned the nut of this aspect of our relationship, which is in part what the show is about. Uh, and so the idea is that many people are acting as though all of our relationship up until the marriage is before we got started. So that's why that you get started at marriage, but
hmm
everything we've done is before.
yeah,
But there's a comedian named Ryan Reese who made a documentary about being a warm-up comedian, and he has been working on that for years and entitled that show Before We Get Started, which
hmm
is also a great name for that. And it's a great documentary. We saw it last year. It's really wonderful. I hope everyone gets to see it. But we didn't want to have the exact same name as another comedy project that was in the works around the same time. So we were like, we're back to the drawing board. We're like, well, what is this show about? And my name's gonna be on it. It's a Myq Kaplan comedy special, but it is half me, half Rini. So we're like, we want to get Rini's name in there, and so we put it right on top, right in the front.
but it's not even. I mean, it's about the both of you. It's not
It
just
is,
about
yes,
her.
that's right.
Um, but that's pretty big. I mean, that's big. And then you've got this. I mean, in the trailer for it, you got this flower and stuff. It's kind of like this. It feels like it's this celebration or something about the love between you two or something, or
I
something like
couldn't
that, right?
couldn't have
Okay.
put it better myself. That is 100%. We found a beautiful we wanted to have it be, because there are these themes of love, celebration, marriage, if not in the letter of the law, in the spirit of it. And so we filmed it in this place called the Actors Temple Theater, which is a functioning theater and a functioning synagogue, and that has like stained glass, so it looks
hmm
like a place where
You might,
a marriage could begin.
and you're kind of wearing something you might get married in, maybe
It's
in
nice,
Las
yeah.
Vegas or somewhere else funky, or maybe
Absolutely.
somewhere not that funky. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it could be depending on your taste. But yeah, so that's 100% what it's about. And let me say this, I just realized, yes, it is about both of us, but I will say that from my perspective, and like I'm the one who has my perspective, right? There's the two of us, we're together. I like thinking about Rini and, engaging with the both of us, and our relationship is made of the two of us. But from my perspective, I only see her. I rarely, I'm looking at myself on the screen right now in this Zoom. I see me there. I look at myself in the mirror, but most of the time in my life, I see Rini's face more than I see my own. So I think in some ways, a show that's about both of us, went from my perspective, it makes sense that I'm like, I don't have to tell everybody, hey,
hmm
it's me. I'm me. I'm the me part of it. And so she's the other part of it.
And you would say that the writing was 50-50 on this.
I mean, I think that there's no way to really calculate numerically, because so many of the jokes and concepts were both like created by maybe an initial thought by one of us. And
Uh-huh.
then, she might have a specific idea that then I would take on stage and sort of riff around and, put my own spin to. And then she would offer her, thoughts about what it was becoming. And so it was, I think, like a pure collaboration, like not as simple as like somebody writes the music and somebody writes the lyrics. So it's
Yeah.
all kind of intermingled.
And I in the trailer for it, I hear
Yeah.
you say I'm single in it. What's up with that?
That's yeah, you've got to watch the whole thing to find out, but
Because are
yeah.
you saying that in the as part of a dialogue where you were single or something like that, or what?
Yeah, I will. Maybe this is an exclusive here. I don't know that I've talked about this explicitly on the record, but there is a joke. Like that is a part of a joke that I wrote before Rini and I were in the committed relationship that we were together. I don't remember the exact timing of it, but the very first time that I said that joke on stage, where I said I was single, and then over the course of time, I continued to tell that joke, and that joke grew to become part of a larger piece, the whole joke of which is not entirely in the trailer. So you do only see the part in the trailer, which is funny because it is named for her and it is about our relationship and we created together. And yet still, I do have friends who are like, hey, is everything okay? I saw in the trailer that it said that you're single.
Right.
And well, I guess then watch it, everybody. Find out how that joke concludes.
Okay, the joke of all, I assume that it's part of it's part of a longer piece that turns into, okay, well, I'm actually not single. I wrote that joke whenever, and so forth. And then did you, what was I going to ask about that? Oh, well, I do have questions about, maybe we'll get into this in the extended portion of the show, but
Sure.
okay, there's various topics you cover, and then you talk about non-monogamy. I think. I mean, that's one of the bullet points on what the special is about. And right. I was curious about if that changed in this relationship or if it's the same or whatever. And I don't know. And then also I'm kind of curious about. I guess this is not an issue, but was there things that were too personal that maybe Rini said, let's not do this. Let's not have this in here. Or was there any? Did you guys censor yourselves at all? Or?
I would say short answer, no. Mm-hmm. Like there's definitely things about our lives, our personal life together and our individual lives that, I'd say in general, I am an open book. And then there are some things that, are just for us, but I'd say that anything that one of us thought this would be good to go in the show. Or let's say if I thought, oh, wow, I'd love to tell this story about our life together or this perspective that I had at some point. And before I would say anything that isn't only my story on stage, that if it's, part her story, that is something that we would discuss. And I don't think there are any things that I said, I'd like to talk about this. And Rini said, no, do not talk about that, or that she wouldn't want me to, or that it would be uncomfortable. Like with the topic of, monogamy versus non-monogamy, that is something that, for many years, it was like something that I was living and also would then talk about in my comedy. And this is the first monogamous relationship that I've had in a long time. I was monogamously married in my 20s. And then for a while, I thought that wasn't what I wanted. And so for a while, that wasn't what I did. And then I now would say that I'm Rini-ogamous. I don't know if that sounds, it's not that I want a particular relationship model or structure. It is that, when I was an open relationship identified person, part of it was because I wanted to be open to receiving all the potential, joy and connection and love that might be possible. And now with Rini, it's a relationship that is unlike any other that I have experienced. I've been in wonderful relationships with other people. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful that I went to college. I'm grateful. Oh, I don't know if you heard Rini gasp. She just learned that I was in other relationships before. That's her bit that she does. She always gasps when I say that. And so it's sort of like I tell a joke sometimes about this Lenny Bruce joke. Do you know Lenny Bruce would say, I'm not a comedian, I'm Lenny Bruce. Because he is a comedian, of course, but he's more than that. And you don't go to see Lenny Bruce just because I'm just going to see like a bachelorette party going out tonight. Oh, Lenny Bruce is here. It's an event. It's like, if you go to see Reggie Watts, you see Reggie Watts. If you go to see Maria Bamford, you're seeing Maria Bamford. It's not just a comedian, a performer. And so he's like, I'm not a comedian, I'm Lenny Bruce. So sometimes when I think,
you're not monogamous. You're Rini-ogamous or whatever.
That is absolutely, you have gleaned it. The joke version, I'll give it to you here. I will say, we're boyfriend and girl. Like some people would say, I'm her boyfriend, she's my girlfriend, but we're also in our 40s. And like, not to say that like that's the terminology. We're partners, whatever we are. But I guess all I'm saying is like, she's Rini, I'm Myq. So we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. We're Lenny Bruce. So that's
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it's just, and there's nothing, no one in the world
That'd
that
be kind of funny though
yeah.
if somebody said, "Hey, I want you to introduce you to my Rini friend. This is my Rini friend," and then or she could introduce you. This is my Myq friend.
Yeah,
And we
my
started going
Rini.
by instead of just boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, or even a wife, husband. You start going, or this is my Rini. This is my Myq.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
But look,
absolutely.
well, maybe we can talk more about the special and maybe just other things, maybe some whatever,
Please.
some riddles and things. I don't know.
Oh
And
yeah, I love riddles.
I don't know. You know what? Oh my gosh, I just had this. I just remembered what I dreamt about last night, which was about us talking, I think,
Wow.
and about I had this idea. I'll share it with people later. It's not that interesting, and that's why. Only for the hardcores do they probably want to hear
Ooh.
this. Anyway, if you want to carry on with me and Myq, we're going to do the extended portion of the show. You can go to patreon.com/poundcast, POUNDCAST, and you get the episodes a couple days early if you like that, if you can't wait till Friday. And also, if you want to watch the show on video, you can go to youtube.com/at Brent Weinbach podcast. And thank you to Jack Birch for his help behind the scenes. And Myq. Thank you, Myq, for being here.
Oh, thank you, and thank you, Brent. Thank you, Jack, as well.
Yeah, and also, Myq, I mean, obviously, the big push here is your special is out now. We're going to say your special is out
Yes.
now. And it's called Rini. It's spelled Rini. It's on
Yeah,
YouTube. It's
it
on
is.
YouTube. It's free. But it's free, but probably people can pay what they want if they want to, right?
Oh, they definitely can. If you're
Yeah.
like, I have a lot of money and I want to pay you for it, there's
Yeah.
look in the
Look
subtitles,
in the
look at the
description.
description.
Look at the
Yeah.
probably pinned comment, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
that'll be a great idea. Just
yeah,
pin that
and
comment.
there's it's a sliding scale. If, hey, you feel like I do want to, whatever. Anyway, people get how that works. Um, and anyway, Rini is the special, and
Yes.
it's about Myq. It's largely about your relationship
Yeah.
with your Rini friend,
Yeah.
um, and anything else to push.
I mean, I perform comedy lots of places. You can look at my website, MyqKaplan.com, or punchup.live /Myq Kaplan, I believe is another place I put my dates. I've got a Substack newsletter that I really enjoy doing at MyqKaplan.substack.com, where most weeks I analyze a joke that I love by someone I love and greater implications and profound, sort of just follow up to just the text. Like there's often every other one has been a Mitch Hedberg one, so I'll take a Mitch Hedberg joke I love and be like, it'll lead into philosophical sort of spiritual ponderings. So that's there. But yeah, I got a bunch of other stuff. But if you put Myq Kaplan into your streaming services, you'll find my albums, you'll find my past specials. But yeah, the main thing is the show that I created with my Rini called Rini.
Thank you, Myq. Thank you, everybody, and maybe we'll see you in just a little bit in the extended, or otherwise, see you next week. My name is Brent
Yeah.
Weinbach. It's the Brent Weinbach podcast. Bye bye.